So here we are in St Lucia. Big problem getting off the ship with quite aggressive taxi hawkers. Very, very pushy, and one after another, after another, after another, after another. So watch out for that, be aware, here comes another one. They're all pleasant enough, but incredibly pushy, which is really quite off-putting. Anyway, I think one of the first jobs should probably be to remove my wristband, because that surely marks us out as tourists and potential victims, I suppose. We've just had all the taxi drivers telling us that everywhere in the city is closed because of Christmas. About 15 seconds later, we found that everywhere actually does appear to be open. So first little porcupine, it doesn't fill you with a lot of trust. Just a quick view of the ship with the MSC Virtuosa in the background. We've just found a cute little market here. Unfortunately, you can't look at a single store without being pestered and harassed. Sadly, my first impression of St Lucia is it's a bit sketchy. It's also the first of the islands that we've been to that's felt a little bit unsafe. Gosh, all of these COVID rules seem completely bizarre now that we look back at them. We've made it down to St Lucia Beach, and now I think it might be time for us to find somewhere to sit and go for a paddle. There's a nice little beachfront cafe just behind me, and we've not been harassed by anyone for over 15 minutes now, so the island's starting to grow on me a little bit more than it was. I think I can possibly see what people like about it, but as I say, as a cruise passenger, the first kind of little bit where you are pestered by absolutely everyone really has ruined the start of the day for me. Look! Tamsin's found me an almost heart-shaped piece of glass on the beach, which is very cute. So that's my little Christmas birthday present to try and cheer me up about being another year older. I'm also looking at a nice little snorkeling area just in front of me. Unfortunately, as you know, my snorkel mask has broken, so I can't do the snorkeling. Though, yeah, if I had a mask, this would be a really nice place to snorkel, and as it is, it looks like a really nice place for me to go for a little paddle and a swim. I'm taking a break from a sudden flash rainstorm, so now might be a good time to put the camera away and to get my swimming clothes on. We found a nice place by the sea to sit. There's a gorgeous looking resort right behind us. I'm sort of wondering whether St Lucia is the kind of place that you would just go along to a resort, plant yourself down for your entire holiday, and maybe have a trip to the mud baths halfway through, but generally just not go anywhere. Apparently the food and everything is really expensive here, and everything generally is a bit expensive, so that maybe seems more likely. It would also explain why the bits of the islands I've seen so far are so much more sketchy than this beautiful area. We've had a nice little sunbathe, although it feels like we're about to have another quick flash storm, which has actually started as I was talking, just as I was about to say it, so better go and find a bit of shelter! Oh my god, 10 seconds have passed since my last video, and look at the weather now. While sheltering from the flash storm, we've stumbled across a little mangrove swamp. And as suddenly as it started, the rain stopped again. So we are now completely soaked, including all of our towels and bags and my non-waterproof camera, which may explode in my hand at some point quite soon. We are about 100 meters away from the nice bit of beach that we were on before, and we have already got to a bit that is slightly more run-down looking. Tamsin's actually having a little look for sea glass pieces. She picks up the sea glass, which is just basically bits of broken glass which has been ground down by the sea and the sand until it's got nice smooth edges, because she likes to make them into jewellery. So yeah, if anyone fancies a nice piece of St Lucia sea jewellery, especially now I've told you how lovely St Lucia is, then have a little look on her Facebook page, which I will link below. Anyway, as I say, just a short distance from the nice bit of beach. We're already at a bit with a lot more litter and graffiti and that kind of thing. So it's probably not a bit of the beach that you would go and visit on your own, actually. But saying that, there isn't really anyone else here anyway. Just completely out of nowhere while we're exploring, we found some ruins. So this one looks like it might have been a house at some point, or perhaps a chalet. It's kind of amazing seeing nature reclaim a building like that, although at the same time it's also kind of sad. You know, I imagine that maybe somebody used to live there, that was once upon a time a happy home, and now it's nothing but a ruin. Anyway, here's another one. And this one's interesting. I could imagine the bit behind me having been a bar once upon a time, perhaps. And there's a big open area in front of it, perhaps where the people all used to sit, perhaps even a restaurant. There would have been beautiful views from here. Just look at this. Just imagine sitting there, sipping your coconut water and rum, enjoying your meal and listening to the sound of the ocean. Again, it feels really sad to see it so derelict, although it's amazing to see nature growing through it. So if there's anyone who knows anything about St Lucia who might have some idea about what this place used to be, please feel free to let me know. Also, I'd really like to know how long it has been derelict. I wonder how long it takes for a building to get into this sort of state in a warm tropical country. After that brief little adventure, I think it's time for us to go back to the ship. Tamsin just wants one last little swim before we go back. I'm basically holding everything and my hands are so full that I physically can't actually even put the things down without dropping them on the sand. And then of course they'd be dirty and it would take forever to try and pick them up again. So I am standing here just watching. I'm also admiring this gorgeous looking hotel. I shall swing past it in just a moment once Tamsin gets out of the water and dries off a little bit, and then back to the Virgin Resilient Lady. Doesn't that hotel look absolutely amazing? And there you have it. Hopefully that'll show in the videos, but doesn't that look absolutely like the most gorgeous beachside hotel ever? And that's us back on the ship. There was a point on the way back where we felt actually really unsafe. We were just quite close to the town area. Obviously, I didn't film that bit because I kind of wanted to keep my camera hidden away, but yeah, it was a little bit on the scary side, so we beat a fairly hasty retreat from there. Despite the cruise port here being opened by the Duke of York, I must say overall I've not been too impressed with St Lucia. As I said, if you're staying in a resort, then it is probably quite nice, though looking at the resort prices, they are about $1,000 a night. The other bits that we've seen have generally just been a bit trashy and a bit sketchy. So, yeah, visit if you're passing, but I wouldn't make a special trip to come out here.